Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. The sponsor of this video is the United States Concealed Carry Association. The USCCA has a ton of education and training for new and old gun owners alike, and as somebody who has taken a lot of classes with the USCCA, I've been able to increase my skill level as a shooter, as a defender of people who I know and love, and they also have classes where you can become a firearms instructor. Check them out, uscca.com/GNG. You become a member, you'll have self-defense liability insurance, which means, God forbid, you have to make that decision to defend yourself or others. They'll be there to defend you in court. And they have a ton of stuff on there, guys and gals. Trust me, it'll get you ready for what happens before, during, or after an act of lawful self-defense. So thanks to the USCCA for being a huge friend of the channel. And I want to talk to you about what happened in September. So it's been a little while. The news has been out for about a 2-week period or so, because what happened in Montana bears watching, and especially when you hear what the ATF's response was after they were kind of caught red-handed. So for this story, we're going to go to Cascade County in Great Falls, specifically Great Falls, Montana, where there was a gun show in late September. Now, patrons of that gun show, as they went in and out, and people who worked in the area, they noticed a vehicle with the person in it, and this guy was watching people intently as they came in and out of this gun show. And the big thing that caught people off guard was his vehicle had a Canadian license plate on it. So they called the local authorities, and when sheriff's deputies arrived, they realized that this person was a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer who was assigned to a gun smuggling task force. And he was surveilling Americans in America. I'm going to stop and say that again. A foreign police agent was in our country surveilling Americans at a lawfully run gun show. And you didn't hear much about it, did you? That should be the concerning part. So, all right, back to this event. Deputies arrived. They learned he was a member of RCMP. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police is like Canada's state police, right? They're the guys in the big red jackets and the big wide brimmed hats. And they're working with ATF. Shocker. The ATF is working with foreign agents to restrict the rights of people here in America. Well, let's dig into this a little bit. The Cascade County Sheriff, Jesse Slaughter, himself even said that this very easily could have been an international incident. Why? Well, because anytime a federal agency is going to do, well, this is the way it's supposed to happen. All right. This doesn't always happen because this is how it's supposed to happen. If a federal agency wants to do law enforcement work in your county, town, city, township, they're supposed to, out of courtesy, notify the local sheriff or chief of police. So for safety reasons, for something's going to go down, they can either provide backup or their members don't get shot, stuff like that. So in this incident here, Sheriff Slaughter, awesome name though. Who doesn't think of Sergeant Slaughter when you hear Sheriff Slaughter? He said that the ATF nor the RCMP gave him a heads up, nor did they notify him that they were there operating this sting. And that is no bueno. That is not the way it's supposed to be, which, again, ATF, shocker. ATF going against people's constitutional rights, going up against established policy and procedure. So what's come of this, and what we found out since, and what the ATF has said in response, is the eye-opening part. So in poking around a little bit, I found that the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they have budgeted $1.5 billion, Canadian of course, to work with ATF in surveilling gun shows. Well, why would they do this? Well, little Fidel, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he is doing his best to ban guns in the country of Canada, just like that, because he's done it. And, there are a large amount of Canadians that still want to be able to protect themselves, that still want to ensure what little bit of freedom that they are clinging to before this little tyrannical freak takes it all away from them. So the belief by the ATF and RCMP is that, and this may happen, may not, but the Canadian police want to make sure that no Canadian citizens cross the border into America, attend a gun show, purchase a firearm, and then bring it back into Canada. So that is the whole mission here for this between ATF and the RCMP. But there's other things that have happened recently that have added to my curiosity here. For one, a couple of weeks ago, I told you that the NICS notification, or the NICS Denial Notification Act, is now operational. And in that act, FFLs, federally licensed firearms dealers, have to provide the full name and address of anyone who is delayed or denied from NICS when they're trying to purchase a gun. They have to provide that to local law enforcement. It used to just be the state where somebody resided, and nobody ever did anything with that information, really, ever. I mean, it was extremely rare that anything was investigated, and even rarer where people were thrown in jail for lying on a 4473, a la Hunter Biden, right? So now they're forcing FFLs to provide all the information to local law enforcement, and then local law enforcement is supposed to start an investigation. And now, why is that also terrible? You'd think, hey man, if people are lying on their 4473s, if they're prohibited people lying on an official federal form, then maybe they should get jammed up. Well, the fact remains that 90+% of NICS denials are denied in error. And so that means that over 90% of the people who are denied are now being investigated as criminals, even though they've done absolutely nothing wrong. It was an error on the system's end. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe the FBI who runs NICS, maybe they're also providing addresses and names of anybody who is delayed or denied to the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, specifically if somebody lives near the border between our two countries. Who knows? I guess this bears watching. So they've got $1.5 billion so that they can work with ATF. Has anybody else ever heard of this? No? Me neither. Neither did Sheriff Slaughter, who stopped this immediately when his deputies arrived at the gun show. Told them to beat feet, and the Mountie, they call him, the Mountie took off too. He did it the right way, although he didn't do it the right way in being there in the first place. So we have international agents, we have cops from different countries in our country surveilling our citizens, and not enough people think that's cuckoo. I think it's cuckoo. And there's one other thing here that bears us knowing and paying attention to. Yesterday, on the 17th of October, MontanaRightNow.com updated their website saying that they reached out to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in regard to the undercover Canadian police officer found at the gun show in Great Falls in September. ATF's Public Information Officer, Crystal K. McCoy, told them that they are not going to comment on the issue and they will not have a conversation about it. That means ATF they're scampering about. They're scurrying because somebody found out about this. They didn't plan on people learning about it, and now they have to figure out some way to make it sound like it's something that they should be doing. They got caught red-handed, and we'll see where this turns up. If you want information on this, because now this has some serious attention on it now, I will keep you in the loop, as well as give you information on the Second Amendment, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. I'll let you know here on Guns and Gadgets every single day, oftentimes multiple times a day. And all you have to do to stay in the loop is hit that subscribe button right down below. Also, if you want to help my channel and any other channel you watch, please start hitting like buttons and sharing videos, as well as commenting on those videos, because that is what helps get information through the algorithm. And the algorithm in the last couple of weeks has been altered again, and it's specifically harming Second Amendment channels, which is just that much more odd because in 21 days is the election and the Second Amendment has been winning a lot lately. So maybe it's just me, but it seems like they just don't want that information to get out as the election gets closer so that people don't make informed decisions on who they elect or vote for, rather than, the typical emotional side is what they want to prevail. So if you want to help this channel and others, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. It really does make a difference. And I want to thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe, because that's what it's for. And we don't care what the Canadian Prime Minister thinks about it. Take care.